Yo, what's up, guys? Girls, people, earthlings, aliens, whoever's in here. Bring them all. Bring them all in. Alrighty then. Looks like my levels are good. I'm just gonna trust it and go with the flow. So welcome back, everybody. Andy's Crypto Talk. We're going to chat about the markets tonight and why I believe we're going up from here. Sure thing. Okay, so get started. We'll look at BTC first. And, we'll look at some other stuff as well real quick at some point. Stocks, gold, oil. We'll just quickly skim them because it's Sunday. Quickly open, all that sort of fun stuff. But yeah, so what we're looking at here on BTC daily, we're going towards this zone that I was marking out. Maybe I should make like a little box for because that's the zone we're going to. And yeah, you can see with the price action, it's pretty clear once it got clear above this level back here at 75 that it would continue on up to at least 80k and see where we go from there. This is our first zone, though. If things get heated up and excited in the markets, we could easily see, like Bitcoin does those things where it spikes. So we might end up seeing this zone as a potential hangout zone, whether it goes and continues up or down from there. A dead cat bounce, if this is what we would call a dead cat bounce for this cycle, and we continue seeing the cycle go on into the fall, that's kind of the type of spike I'd figure you would see, and a rejection from there. Now, that having said, it depends how heated things can get if we continue on up or not. That could be good for overall crypto in general, because we do see an uptick in Ethereum. Where's our lines? Do we have any? Not really. Weird. I remember having lines on these, but sometimes TradingView likes to delete your stuff. But either way, yeah. So ETH BTC, like making a recovery. It's now in this channel, this flag, as we see here. We just want to see, can it correct up out of that? That's really what you're looking for on ETH. I want it. There we go. But I do have some lines like on this one, that 32 level, 3285. If we look to be pushing out of this, and it is starting to look like one of these for ETH, which tends to break to the upside. This would be first sort of zone, 2600-ish to target, but between there and 3200 is kind of our window zone. That's our zone if BTC continues up, of course. If BTC gets buried, the alts will get buried, of course. Solana is looking less strong, so again, I'm thinking that this one to position for a more powerful comeback or catch-up play, if you want to call it that. I wonder if I have a little icon of a bottle of ketchup. Probably not. Oh, emojis? Is ketchup in here? I I don't see catch up. But either way, we were looking for a catch up play on Solana. Looking at the other, BTC ETH, clearing this level at about 97. So about $10 from where we are. It'd be an easy push up, I think, to the 120 level that I've marked out here. Yeah, that kind of lines up with this low to clear that. And then it should have an easy time pushing up. Even potentially to here. 128 would be another marker, I would say. Somewhere like there, yeah. So yeah, I mean, again, Solana, that's the one I would look at to play if we see those moves that, use your BTC as kind of a guiding light. See if it pushes up. Let's go down to the 1 hour here and see just yeah, we can see a rejection right at these highs. So wanting to clear that high, 79,427, to push up into that zone. I think the key to watch is kind of this lower trend line would be worth watching, because it's on a trajectory right now. Don't want to really see that break. But something like this, it broke on this one, right? Right at the end, it broke and then it continued on up. But that's getting, as far as trending up, that's been pretty strong trending. I'll remove that off there just to clean it up. Strong trending right now, so that's why we're targeting up there. Excuse me, guys. I don't have a drink with me right now. So USDT.D, it broke this flag that we were looking at before. And so now the flag redraws to here. But as you can see, this underside is about to break. So this is big reason why we're looking at BTC tonight. If we get a rejection down here, or whatever happens, 6.5, that moved down to that area, and there's a lot of kind of open air here to move down to that area, is going to result in one of these on BTC and all altcoins. This is our danger line as well, so underneath this is good. It's good. Okay, thumbs up. That's good. We want to see it under the good line. So we can even change the name of it. Let's change it. Danger/good if under. Right? That's nice. That's what we want to see. Good if under. So yeah, we're on the edge of the cliff here. Precipice of movement. And that predicated on this insanity, right? This is a daily chart of the S&P 500. And when it made that low and made that's an engulfing candle on the daily, it just went from there. Where's our measuring tool? There it is. If you open something even at the peak of this engulfing candle after it closed, it's up 10% from that, which is huge. This is trillions of dollars. But as you can see, it hit up this sharp trend. It kind of played around there, and then it just rocketed. And it didn't even hang out at this one. It broke through fast. So new all-time highs up here. We gapped down a little bit over the weekend. and then back up out of that. So a lot of strength in this market. That's what a wick. You know what I mean? Like, it's a 50-point wick on the S&P at this level. That's pretty crazy. I think the amount of money that got hurt at that point. Staying above this line here is going to be strength for S&P, basically price discovery. Q's up there, all-time high. NASDAQ, all-time high. This one's the interesting one because it's not back to all-time high or past. So let's go to the daily of that one. Like, not as big of a recovery. The US 30, so the Dow Jones. But something we're seeing good is, you know, we're staying under this 22 red line, and, you know, we did bounce on 18. It would be ideal to see it under 18. But that having been said, like, volatility can be good as well. Like, this doesn't necessarily mean everything's bad. Like, having high volatility with prices moving up can be good, because then the prices moving up are more volatile. AMD up 13% on the day. Wow. That's huge. Like, this is crazy markets. You know what I mean? This is on the weekly. AMD is flexing right now. Flexing. Like, what is that? 70% this month. AI revolution. That's what it is, right? So AMD's probably done something big. Some sort of AI move. But we can see that, like, it's semis right now, right? Semiconductors. They're all making a big push. You can see that with NVIDIA being the lead. This is the biggest company in the world. Up 4% on a day at all-time high. It's crazy. It's crazy stuff. That'd be like the 2B of the high. Clear this and continue. You know, like, it's just wild. Just wild what's going on right now. Oil's wild as well. And look at the volatility on this thing. It's insane. But there's a chance it's cooked. There's a chance oil is cooked for a little while. Just like silver and gold. These might have a long time to go sideways and really work out these flags that they're in now. But you know what? We're coming up. If it just continues sideways, we're coming up on it. We'll see what they can do. Silver's going to look exactly the same to a degree. This one actually looks a little bit better. Technically, it's already broke the trend, the flag trend. The trend of the flag. And it's attempting a recovery. So, probably seeing it above this. Let's see what it can do above that. So yeah, I mean, that's things right now. For the moment, looking for that zone. BTC, Solana, looking for the catch-up. Past the catch-up. ETH, we never actually looked at the USD. Yeah, we did. So it's broken out, right? It's of the fast or the stronger downtrend. Look for that zone. Look for that zone. We're, you know, as long as we're above this, it's pretty good. It's above it, you know, it's above it. But barely. So, I mean, see what it does here. Last thing I'll cover, again, you want to see some truth about money, truth about markets, check this out at kazonomics.com. I don't know why I was thinking winternomicstv.com. That just takes you to the pump fund. But if you go to this kazonomics.com, this is where you can get all the links to the channels, Telegram, Discord. There's the Winternomics TV token right in the chart there, or right in the website. And this is where you can subscribe, look at the NFTs, look at the cheat sheets, look at, the blog is really good, right? So all the social channels down here, recommend you join all of them. There is nuggets of information in throughout all of these channels. So you want to put it all together. That's going to be your best sort of factor to go through all that stuff. Of course, there's the YouTube is, go to the YouTube, watch the starter pack, which they have a link for right here. And, if you're interested in getting in on what I believe is still very ground floor into the community's token, which will have utility attached to it, we can see here I've been talking about this throughout the entire time since it launched. Throughout this entire low trend, I was telling my Telegram people about this token. So from those lows, we've got some major price movements, 15x at this point from the lows to the point we're at, not even the highs. From the lows to the highs now, we've seen over 2,250% move. With volume starting to slowly come back. It's not even that busy, you know what I mean? Like, this is a token that's just been slowly climbing. Not slowly, it's quick. It's been happening quick, but it's quietly. It's not trending anywhere. It's not being pumped. There's none of those what do they call it on Dexstream, these little lightning bolts. Nobody's putting anything like that into it, and it's just been gaining traction more and more and more. 5.3 mil right now from the 300k lows. You had a long time chance to enter this, but at this point, this is even here an ideal place to enter on this type of chart. Like, if you were to look at this chart, just blankly, you would say, like, this looks good, you know what I mean? Like, it's had a previous pump, it's consolidated that pump, it's shown that there's interest even at the lows, and then it started to remake the climb. This is kind of like the disbelief, and then you get your rally up, your first rally up, and then from the all-time high breaks, that's when the real music sort of starts on tokens that look like this. Going by the Kaz teachings, we find ourselves with that as the 2B, where it fakes you out. It goes up and fakes you out. There's a great show on Pump Fund on the 2Bs. I would check that out. But that's kind of the level to clear, and then it's going to be, sky's the limit at that point. First target that has been mentioned by the community is 50 mil, right? That's their first target, first leg, so to speak. And even from here, you're looking at a 10x to the 50 mils to, 53 mil. There's your 10x, 900% gain. So worth, looking into this again. Do some homework if you're interested. One of the more recent pump funds talks about the utility. You can always join the Discord, ask some questions, join the Telegram, ask questions. There's always community members ready to help you guys out in these. But yeah, looking at the chart, we're seeing a little bit of a correction from this last, leg push that we've seen here with some really solid candles, 30%, 23, 10, 10, like it's chunking them in big candles. since this 46% candle, it was just big up candles. So you know, it's gonna be natural that you're gonna see like little corrections like this. We'd rather see these people out at lower prices than at higher prices. You know, we can see this being the trend sort of to break this downtrend that we've seen. You know, a lot of these big like purple down candles, they're like single people selling. And you look at, you know, the collective amount of green candles to the purple candles moving on up, like, and these are just a few people selling, but these are like a lot more people buying. And we've seen that recently as well in the uptick of holders. Where does it, I don't even think it shows you holders here, but it definitely shows you holders on SolScan. Yeah, so we can see a little uptick in holders. You know, it's been steadily climbing. Visualize, I've never seen this. There we go. Like there's your cluster map. There is one, that's the AMM. So like these are all wallets attached to the AMM that are helping distribute the token. You know, some of the big ones, you know, big percentages being held by people that are not selling. A lot of these smaller cells looks like bots or like pump fund low coin price buyers, because you'll see like a sell from someone who hasn't bought ever. I don't know if this is a good example. No, that person bought and sold. This is a good example, right? So you can see here, bought 0, sold 8,800, 1.6 million tokens. They probably bought this on pump fund in the early days, and that's why it shows 0, right? So a lot of people trip, they don't realize how to read this stuff, but this stuff, I would not take it as gospel. It's not that accurate. Like certain wallets, it'll say like bought and sold so much, but they might have bought more and sold more, and you can't even see that because this just isn't always very accurate. So yeah, guys, checking out this trend to break, you know, it did make a lower low here, but seeing the uptick in things like Solana, this being tied to Solana, right? The Winternomics token is tied to Solana. That's how it's paired. So the liquidity moves up and down based on Solana moving up and down, right? And you know, on the hourly basis, we can see Solana starting to move up. So that's going to make these green candles, let's go to 1 hour. These green candles, you'll see even sells sometimes won't take the price down as much, and green, you know, buys will make the price go up more than normal because Solana is pumping. So yeah, guys, check out Kazonomics, and you know, looking for that zone to hit. That's, I think, everything that we are going to talk about tonight, and we'll catch you guys in the next live. Peace.